So Zora, coming to the second question, which is 1 out of 6 couples are infertile, and
Right.
most of the time you are handling these regretful couples, that are
Yes.
coming with regrets, and they're
Yeah.
coming to you more as a counselor, and
Yes.
at that moment, how do you handle this,
Right.
such concerns,
The
and what sort of hope do you give them?
Mm. Mm.
And most of the time, what are these regrets that actually are?
Mm. The first thing is we extend our empathies to them because we understand that nobody has guided them. That's the first thing, that they are all lost. They've met at least 10 gynacs before they are coming to us.
Okay.
And each gynac has given them a different opinion. Some have given them hormonal tablets. Some have suggested surgery. Some said immediately go for IVF. And they are lost. They don't know what to do. They've tried some bit of yoga. Then they've come back. And they've said, we tried dieting also, but still nothing happened. So they have lost all hope. They said, sab kuch try kar liya, kuch bhi kaam nahi kar raha, right? We've tried everything, nothing's working. That's when they come to us. That's the first step. At that point of time, we try to make them understand, do you even know what is the root cause? For example, your hormone levels are off. That is what the report has told you. So your doctor has prescribed hormones from outside because your body is not able to make it. Yet, it did not solve your problem. So then what is the root cause? Are you aware of why is your hormone imbalance? Like Aman just mentioned, testosterone level in women is increasing, right? Do you know what is causing this? Then they're like, we don't know.
So
It just happened
my
to-
question was here from a more psychological aspect, Zora.
Okay.
That do you really get into what was their historical environment?
Absolutely. That's what I'm coming to now.
Yeah.
Right? So we try to link the physical symptoms to the emotional root cause, which is what doctors don't do. Right? They stop at the physical root cause saying, this is what the scan is saying. This is the medicine. Take it. This will solve it. It never solves it. It only acts as a temporary replacement for what your body can't do. The moment you stop that, body is back to being like a handicapped person, right? It's always depending from, which means that you haven't fixed the root cause. Now, when it comes to fixing the root cause, for example, if someone would come to me with high testosterone levels, being a woman, I would try to go back in her history and ask her, how was her childhood? How was it when she started her periods? How was the environment at home? How was her relationship with her father, with her mother? When did she feel like she was being pushed to become the man of the house? When did she feel like she had to carry the load of the entire household, be it the financial responsibility, be it an emotional responsibility for a sibling? When is it that she felt like without her, everything will collapse? Decision makings. When maybe she had a bad relationship and she was like, I've lost all trust in men. I don't want a man in my life. So there could be so many cases why she felt like she should be the man and she shouldn't depend on a man, right? That's when that hormonal imbalance starts coming in picture.
And the fear of being accountable for those decisions is also something that's adding to that fuel.
Yes, it could be all of that. Something that they have taken up to an extreme level, right? Well, a lot of women go through it, but they don't let that impact their hormones. They still like being that feminine. They still like, they still nurture the feminine side. While there are some women who then start hating the feminine side in them. That's when the feminine hormones, the estrogen and progesterone, start getting suppressed and the male hormones start to rise. So when we understand the emotional root cause, we help them to understand that through our program, we are not just going to deal with the physical symptoms they are seeing. We'll help them, I would say, make peace with whatever has caused this entire havoc in their system.
So Zora, it means that their historical environment has now brought them to this situation is because aesthetically they looked female, but mentally they were acting as males.
Yeah.
Very much.
And therefore this has actually complicated the whole biology.
Yes. And if you see today, 70% of the women are having PCOS. And this can be correlated with the increase in women not wanting to get married, women wanting to work, women not trusting men, having bad relationships. All of that is interlinked.
So in our terms, we call it your feminine energy and your masculine energy. Nowadays, a lot of women have to channelize their masculine energy. You're supposed to be independent. You're not allowed to be vulnerable. Like showing tears is a sign of weakness now. So all of these things, like women are The environment is such that, and it's so competitive that women have to channelize their masculine energy. And sometimes, let's say if they're going through emotional swings, mood swings, so to say, they start villainizing themselves for their own emotions. So they're not accepting what they're feeling, they start rejecting it. And that is what builds an internal conflict within them. And whenever there's an internal conflict, which Zora was mentioning, like your pituitary, there's an HPA, hypothalamus pituitary axis. So whenever there's an internal conflict where you're not aligned, your HPA shuts. Or the signal is broken, like Zora was saying, that the line is cut between your brain and ovary. So that when that HPA, hypothalamus pituitary axis, is broken, this is what happens when there's any internal conflict. And this is something that could happen across all genders and across any situation, not just fertility, so to say. Whenever you want to do something and yet you're conflicted, that is what affects your HPA.